You won't find the drama you see on shows like Chicago PD or Blue Bloods every night on the streets of Pasadena, but the Special Investigations Unit here definitely has its hands full. CCN's Tony Mead went for a ride-along with the Special Enforcement Unit of the Pasadena Police Department. She joins us now live to tell us about her experience. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Jesse. Lately, police have been getting a lot of negative attention in the national news following the deaths of a number of unarmed black men. So I wanted to see for myself what a day in the life of a police officer in Pasadena was like. And I rode along with Lieutenant Clausen. He's been on the force for 23 years, and he's part of a team of the Violence Reduction Task Force that works with gang members and tries to prevent crime whenever possible. We talked a little bit before suiting up and hitting the streets.
Special Enforcement Section, that unit is comprised of at least a dozen officers who every day our mission is to go out and contact gang members, investigate gang crimes, and street-level narcotics or street-level narcotic activity, which kind of go hand in hand.
As I suited up in a bulletproof vest, Lieutenant Clausen prepped me on what to expect, and I have to admit I was a little nervous. We spent majority of our time in Northwest Pasadena, which is predominantly black and Hispanic, and unfortunately home to a number of gangs. While we patrolled around Orange Grove Boulevard, Marengo, Raymond, and Mountain Avenue, the lieutenant filled me in on places gang members hang out, including the 800 block of Summit Avenue. He pointed out graffiti tags that gangs use to mark their territories, and parks where kids rarely go because of gang and drug activity, like Washington Park. Clausen says he knows these streets well and that each case and each suspect is different.
A guy that's riding his bicycle that doesn't have a light on at night, to where, you know, I know that's a violation of the law. That gives me probable cause to stop them. I also see people that if we're approaching, they may toss something or make an underhand furtive movement to throw something on the ground, and we've gotten out where we see where the person was, and we find guns and drugs that have been discarded by the people. Some gang members over here might be active, and then tomorrow these guys might be active, or maybe these guys are having a gang meeting, or maybe these guys are, you know, rallying for one of their fallen, you know, fellow gang members who may have been shot or killed in a car accident. You know, and those are the things that we tend to watch or watch out for.
We went down alleyways filled with graffiti and did some covert surveillance and in-home visits in problem areas within Districts 1, 2, 3, and 5. Clausen's team stays busy. Just last week, they conducted 85 foot patrols, had 26 field contacts, made 45 traffic stops, 46 pedestrian contacts, 13 probation and parole compliance checks, and arrested 11 suspects for a variety of violations. During my ride-along, Clausen listened closely to the streets, answered 911 calls, chased suspects, and helped break up a fight. Ultimately, there were no arrests that night. Although some police officers here in Pasadena have gotten into trouble in the past few years for officer-involved shootings, loss of evidence, and more, Clausen says he believes ultimately members of the Pasadena Police Department want to solve every case that comes their way.
Personally, I believe every crime can be solved by following leads, conducting interviews, and getting cooperation from witnesses and victims who we find that sometimes don't cooperate. But I believe that every detective wants to solve every crime that he's assigned, so they can get some type of relief for the victim, but also put the bad guy in jail.
The lieutenant and I talked about the shootings making national news briefly, and his response was that every case is different, and every day is a different day for an officer. The police chief, Philip Sanchez, sends out a weekly notice highlighting information he gets from his officers. Anyone can sign up to receive those notices by visiting the Pasadena Police Department website. Jesse, back to you.
Thank you, Tony, for that report. Lieutenant Clausen also told Tony that on any given day, Pasadena police respond to homicides, robberies, kidnappings, fights, gunshots, and domestic violence cases throughout the city.